Fight!
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the MKAU podcast for season 6, episode 1. We finished off last year nice and strong, and we've all taken a bit of time to settle into the new year. Joining us as per usual is our leader, Sub-02K.
Howdy.
Mr. Vibe is back again.
Heyo.
Brash Rackham's back again. I probably butchered your name, but that's all right.
Oh, that's perfect.
And Camby's back again as well for a new year. What's everyone been up to in recent weeks? Start with you, Camby.
I've been getting really into a game called Necess, which is a very up-and-coming one. It's been taking up a majority of my time, other than watching anime and stuff.
And what is
Not
it
much.
about?
I'd say it's a mix of like Stardew Valley, Terraria, and a couple others. So it's like a top-down view. You can like build like settlements and stuff, and get villages and grow. Pretty cool.
Yeah, nice. I like a little survival sort of game.
Yeah.
What about you, Brashy? What have you been up to?
Recovering from Christmas. Financially.
Yeah.
Other than that, I pretty much watched all of Yellowstone, so I started playing Red Dead Redemption 2.
Playing.
I was playing that a fair bit. Also, what else was it? I started playing on PlayStation.
Helldivers.
Helldivers. I've been playing that for the past few days. That was been really good, really fun. Minimal nitpicks on that game, which is pretty good because everything that has come up has already been addressed, and they're already like working to fix it. So I can't really say much bad about it. But yes, no, Helldivers is really fun. Just play with other people because solo is just not as fun.
What about you, Vibe? What have you been up to?
Diving into most of the new games that have come out this year so far. So like, Power World, Tekken, Suicide Squad. Enjoyed them all quite a bit. And
So you've been playing a fair bit of Pokemon Simulator?
a little bit. Yeah. Like I'm not overly a survival game fan, but it's a bit of fun to jump around, try and capture as many of the pals as you possibly can. But yeah, enjoyed Suicide Squad. That was
Good game.
quite a fun game. I played with Subby and Whippy here. And Redgrave.
It was a good game.
We had a load of fun playing. The freaking dialogue in it was amazing. The story was good. And Endgame's, a bit repetitive, but still quite enjoyable.
It'll probably be less repetitive when the new content comes out for season 1, or season 1 if you want to call it that.
Which is in March, yeah, so not too
Yeah.
far away.
Not too far away, so definitely have to get in and get all the endgame stuff sort of done so we can smash into that.
You guys got to catch up. You guys are a bit behind.
I am a little bit. I haven't had a chance to play it again.
I think any
What do you mean?
endgame's meant to be repetitive, though. What you're doing is
Endgame usually is.
I think the one thing that's sort of different about it is like you've got your end game, and I find myself with most games, you finish the main story, and then after that you're like, oh, I can't be bothered. Like there's
all right.
There's nothing more. Whereas Suicide Squad was a bit different. The end game's actually somewhat draws you back into the game, even though the main story is finished. And obviously, season 1 dropping, we're going to see the Joker, so should be some cool little stories coming from that.
Yeah.
What have you been up to, Subby?
I've been playing Suicide Squad as well, and some Skull and Bones, and just keeping up on work stuff mostly. Yeah, nothing too exciting.
For those that don't know, Subby doesn't sleep. He just sits on the website all day updating it.
I try to get at least 4 hours each night.
You wouldn't believe he's actually 21 years old. I'm more or less the same. I haven't been playing Power World because I'm not playing it. But
Agreed.
yeah, I've been playing a fair bit of Suicide Squad. A lot of Skull and Bones over the weekend with the open beta event. I started Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. That is a really, really cool game so far. So I'm keen to get in and finish that off. But finding time to play all these new games is probably the most challenging part. But we'll get there.
Only the start
Hopefully
of the
when-
year, mate.
I know I'm waiting for like the games are all quiet down so I can get back through my backlog. But we'll see. We'll get there sooner. or
We
later.
all think that way, and it never happens.
Every year,
I said
someone says that, and the backlog just keeps backlogging.
My focus this year is just any game I do buy, I try my hardest to complete before
finish
moving
it.
on to something else, rather than trying to clear backlog.
Yeah,
That's just
Suicide
too
Squad
much
was the
effort.
first game I'd finished in ages. Like the other closest was almost finishing the RoboCop one, but
Well, I finished the Tekken story, but that was only 3 hours long.
And my goal is to finish the new Final Fantasy VII game completely when it comes out.
That was one of my big things this year. I want to finish games. If I start them, I want to finish them. But like I said to Vibe at the start of the year, we were in the VC, and I was like, oh, I'm going to download all the Gears of War games, replay all of them. I haven't even downloaded them yet, so we'll get there sooner or later.
2 months in.
Yeah, I know. It's going too quickly.
too busy buying
So Brashy,
too busy buying LED lights, RGB lights.
yeah, RGB lights and spending all my hard-earned money to Brian to get state decks. But anyway. So Brashy, you said you were recovering from Chrissy. What did you get up to over the break?
Spent a lot of money on gifts and food. And then in January we had, early February, we had a cyclone that knocked out my power for 5 days. So I lost a whole freezer and fridge full of food that I had to replace as well.
Oof.
Ooh, that's rough.
Luckily, no damage to the house, so it was a bonus. But yeah, 5 days without power was bullshit.
That would have sucked.
What'd you have to
And
do?
we had
Rub sticks
then
together?
straight after the cyclone, we had a heat wave.
Cuddle naked to keep warm.
One night I think I slept in the shower for a couple of hours with the shower running. So I had my head outside the door on like a towel, and the rest of my body was in the shower with the cold water because it was just so hot.
I've got a generator in my shed just for that reason. If the power goes out, I can just crank the generator and it will run like the fridge and a fan if I need it to. But yeah,
I'm gonna have to do that too. Is just get a generator.
I barely ever have to use it, but it's one of those things where you know you've got it there, so if you need to use
Just
it,
in
you
case.
can. Yeah.
Mm.
What about you,
Yeah.
Vibe? What you get up to over the holidays?
Oh, what
The
holidays?
break.
Only got like a week off of work. Barely anything. Nah, it's not much really. Just Christmas with the family. A small one. Nothing else really. Quiet.
Is this the first
Nice,
podcast since
Yep,
Christmas?
first
is it?
podcast this year.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
You've been slack, Subby.
I keep up, bro.
That's up to you and Stace there with
Yeah,
you
I
to
did.
sort
It
out
is,
the
it is
podcast.
now. Hey, someone said something and I made it happen, so we're here, guys. What about you, Camby? What have you been up to over your break, I guess?
Oh, I flew back over to New Zealand for I think just over 2 weeks. Spent some time with the family, had Christmas and New Year's, and got to catch up with all my old friends and that. Went out camping out in the bush. So it was definitely a well-needed break and definitely a refresh for coming back into the full swing of work.
I've always found when you go away, like I don't get me wrong, I'll go away for a couple of days and always want to go back to my own bed and pillow and everything. But you go away and like you said, you get that recharge where you sort of come back and you're keen to smash out whatever you're doing. But
Yeah.
apart from going back to work, no one's ever keen for that. So, what about you, Subby? What you get up to over Christmas and start of the new year?
Man, I had 3.5 weeks off. It was good. I did nothing.
Must be hard. Life.
Literally nothing at all. I barely even played any games too, which I was going to. I just can't be bothered. I was just enjoying 3 weeks off. I haven't had Christmas holidays in like 9 years. So it was good just to take a couple of weeks off because I was in between jobs, so I couldn't start the new one until like a week and a half after everywhere else opened. But yeah, no,
Did you 3 weeks off?
Sorry?
Did you 3 weeks off recharge your batteries or not really?
It put me in a very bad spot. I didn't want to have to start work again because I was
So
you know,
used
you know,
to
you
it,
know how
yeah.
you get by the end of like 2-3 weeks, you're awake all night and then you sleep all day. So getting out of that sort of thing was very, very hard, but it's okay now. It's all good. But yeah, no, I didn't do anything, to be honest. I did nothing. I did nothing. I didn't do nothing.
I'm a bit like Brashy. We obviously have my family's Christmas and then my partner's family's Christmas, and they all came here this year, so that cost me an absolute arm and a leg. Luckily, we didn't lose power, so I didn't lose all the food, but it was definitely one I had to recover for a little bit financially. But I sort of only just had the public holidays off, and then I was sick for a week. But yeah, just worked. No rest for the wicked. Well, we're obviously in February now, so we're well and truly into the year. What would you say is your, like, can be more than one, but your most anticipated games for 2024? So obviously a lot of people were hyped up for Suicide Squad, and there's obviously the early access release now for Skull and Bones. What would you say is a game that you're hanging out for, Brashy?
For me, it'd be the Final Fantasy VII. Next chapter of that. I'm super excited about that. Other than that, probably Skull and Bones, purely because pirates. I like pirates. My actual tag name is based off a pirate, so
Yeah.
So the old Calico Jack Rackham. So yeah, be keen for Final Fantasy and Skull and Bones. And Helldivers actually was pretty good, so
I forgot about
enjoying
Helldivers.
that. Yeah. Enjoying Helldivers a bit.
I see
It's getting
Helldivers.
getting a lot of my friends together, which is good.
Helldivers is doing better than God of War, I hear.
Yeah, it sold like what was over 1 million
Don't
copies in
know,
the first week on Steam.
stupid number, yeah.
Uh,
It's doing good.
but yeah, so those three probably. Helldivers was a good game, and I can't wait for Final Fantasy. That comes out in a few weeks, so that's
Definitely a lot of games
great.
coming out close together at the moment.
And their Skull and Bones beta started today or yesterday or something.
Early access starts
whole
today.
weekend.
Today.
Yeah, today.
Yeah.
Yeah, so be keen for that. I just got to figure out if I want to get it on PC or if I want to get it on PlayStation. So
It's
decisions.
definitely a game that's going to be good. What about you, Camby? What games are you looking forward to in 2024?
Well, there's a big one I'm looking forward to, which I got to play the first one, which was Stalker.
I was going to say
So
Stalker. Yeah.
Stalker 2's coming out, yeah.
That's what I've got on my list, yeah.
Which I wanted to talk to Subby about later on. We'll get to that.
I wonder why.
You must have missed my message in the review channel today.
I did. And Silent Hill 2. That's another one.
Is that this year though? Is that this year?
I think it is, yes.
Comes
I know they were
unprepared.
saying something about it.
The thing is, it can say this year, and it probably won't come out until next year
Yeah,
anyway.
I don't even know if there's a lot of like confirmed dates this year.
I'd actually like to go back and rewatch I can't remember if it was last year or the year before, that Xbox event that they did with, all these games are coming out in the next 12 months. And I want to see how many have actually came out within the next 12 months. It'd be interesting to see. But what about you, Vi? What are you keen for?
I am keen for Hellblade 2 if that actually gets released this year. It's scheduled for May, but it's been delayed over and over again and in development. But it's only a small team, that's why. And they take a lot of pride in the way they're making the game with like the facial expressions, the story, and everything. It's just, if the first one was amazing.
I was about to say, for a small development team, Hellblade definitely a nice looking game. Like they've done a good job.
Even the first one looks phenomenal, and that was years ago. But other than that, got Alone in the Dark. I'm pretty keen for.
Alone in the Dark, yeah.
I played that at PAX the year before last year, I think.
Yeah, you and I played it.
Yeah, it's been a while. It was meant to come out around the same time as Alan Wake, but they decided to delay it, not be in the dark, you know. And there's Dragon's Dogma 2 as well. I haven't really played the first one, but some people are saying you don't really need to. And it looks like a really good RPG to get into. And a few others.
The first one is good though. If
Yeah.
you do decide to play it, the first Dragon's
Might.
Dogma is really good.
Might do, but we've got until about somewhere in March, so whether or not I get around to doing it or not.
Time's running out, big fella.
There's a couple other small games here and there that I'll probably pick up on the way.
What about you, Subby?
Stalker 2 is the only one on my radar to want to play. There's a lot of other stuff I'm interested in, and like probably to watch people or check it out, like that Rise of the Ronin one.
Oh yeah,
I don't know about when that. I think did that Ninja Turtles one that they announced. I don't know whether that's this year or next year. I don't remember, but no, I don't really know. There's just no real. Stalker 2 is the only one I kind of am mostly interested in. Else is scheduled for this year.
I'm probably much the same. Like I'm very keen to jump into Alone in the Dark. I really enjoyed that little snippet we got to play at PAX. I'm definitely keen for the new WWE game. The 40 years of WrestleMania is going to be a pretty cool little throwback, I guess.
Indiana Jones. Is that this
Indiana
year?
Jones. That's
Yes, that was one.
yeah, later this year, I think. Yeah, that's going to be a good game. But yeah, I'm much the same. There's some games I probably won't get that I enjoy watching people play. Like I enjoyed watching Red and Vibe play Tekken, but it's not a game I'd run out and buy, sort of thing. Like I've never played a Tekken game, but I enjoy watching people play it. But yeah, that's more or less what I'm keen for. There's not too much at the moment, but a couple of games sitting there. Definitely keen to sink some time into Skull and Bones. Though I really enjoyed the
Is that
open beta.
Star
on
Wars
that.
game meant to be this year? Stuff one Outlaws.
No idea. And if Extra Fight drops this year, I'll be keen to play that. There is some
Yeah,
rumors.
if it drops.
There's some rumors circling around that it's going to be hopefully be March on Twitter, but we shall see.
It was in their financial thing for
Mm.
February, early March, so it'll be.
Star Wars
It'll be at
Star Wars Outlaws says 2024. No actual date yet.
No, that might be
Maybe
this year.
that. I suppose as the year goes on, we'll see more releases drop, so we can get.
Yeah,
keen
there's
for
just
games,
so
but-
much without dates, so I haven't really
Yeah.
got hyped for anything other than like.
Which is fine. I prefer a no date release and just the game's being made. That's
Yeah,
nice to know.
100%.
The second they start putting that date in and then it gets delayed and delayed, I start to lose interest.
Mm.
Well, that's like perfect example. And the next thing we're going to talk about, Skull and Bones. That got delayed and delayed and delayed, and then everyone played the alpha. Was it the alpha that you and Subby
No.
played?
It was closed beta.
Closed.
Oh,
beta.
I think it was the first public beta, but it was closed. It was a technical test.
But people started losing interest in the game because it kept getting delayed and kept getting pushed back.
It got remade from the ground up at one point.
Yeah, and remade from the ground up. And then it's sort of gone off my radar. And then Subby's like, "Oh no, it's actually pretty good." And I was like, "Okay, we'll have a suss." And obviously, I don't know about Camby and Brashy, but we sunk some time into the open beta on the weekend before the early access dropped. I think Vibe probably played the most. What did you sort of think of it all?
I really enjoy it. It's like people will say that, there's no hand-to-hand combat and a missed opportunity. I just see it as this a game that's not meant to be about the hand-to-hand combat. It's about just the ship combat, and that's its primary focus. Yeah, it's a little of land exploration, which is pretty fun. You're finding your treasure and that, which they did kind of ruin from when we first played the closed beta.
You're glowing.
A part of finding the treasure is to try, to look for it and struggle to find it. But now if you walk past the area, you just get like this
You
orange
just gotta
beam that
look in
tells you
that
where it is.
direction, and it's like, hello, here's a lot of shiny little gold things coming out of the ground.
Yeah, other than that, I'm really enjoying the game. I love the ship combat. I've always loved it from Black Flag too, and it's very similar. Just a lot more upgrade you can do to your ship and changing the cannons, which cannons you want to use, all that stuff. It's just good fun.
On what you said though, I know I've been watching obviously a fair bit of Twitter, what people have been saying, or just people's streams. Like, I think a lot of them expected something like Black Flag when you board a ship, or wanted the fact that if you boarded the ship, you actually had to fight for the ship, which would be a cool addition. But again, like you said, the ship to ship combat's awesome, and you feel, and you can still do combat to a degree if you pull up next to a ship and you can actually get your sailors to shoot them with muskets or whatever
Yeah,
they've
so you
got.
have to do a specific amount of damage for that
Yeah.
to happen. As in my
Yeah.
ship at the moment, I throw fire bombs, and I don't shoot muskets towards them.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's definitely good. Did Camby or Brashy play the open beta over the weekend or?
No.
No.
Did you watch any of it?
I watched I watched a YouTube channel of a guy who got to play the I think it must have been like the open beta, and then he got to play like the end game sort of stuff. And him and a whole bunch of other people got to put like fully upgraded ships and stuff, and got to go out and sort of play end game.
Yeah,
So I
okay.
watched a bit of his stuff, but yeah, I was a little bit sad at the fact that there is no fighting with swords, because when it first got announced, I was like, yes, hopefully it's just Black Flag, just without the Assassin's Creed shit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, because like swinging onto a ship and then killing a whole bunch of people on the ship, like I thought that was fucking fun as well. But I still want to play it purely because like the ship combat. If the ship combat is similar to what Black Flag was, fuck yeah.
The ship combat's a
I
lot
love
better
that.
than what it was on. The ship combat
Yeah.
is better than it was.
Mm.
Well, a million times better than it was on Black Flag. I think if Black Flag didn't exist, people wouldn't be arguing about the game. They would just accept it and enjoy it. But because it exists and they're just comparing it to it, that's yeah.
Like, combat would be cool, but I don't think it's needed. I reckon it's a
need
fun game as is.
It's something they could always add down the path anyway. Like they've got a pretty big roadmap for the game, content wise. But yeah, definitely keen to see where it goes. What about you, Subby? What did you sort of think of it all?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I just didn't get to sink as much time as your vibe probably did, but yeah, I like the fact that they space out the upgrading pretty evenly. I don't know how long it took you to upgrade your stuff, Vibe. Whether you just focused on
Quite a
blueprint
bit,
collecting?
because I didn't find out where these locations were to get them, and actually progress some of the story. And I was like, oh, this is the island I need to go to get this blueprint for the largest ship that was available in the beta. And I just come across it naturally that way.
Well, that's what happened with
Then
us the other night. Remember, we were all the way down the bottom, and I just happened to come across the island where that contract was at. That was
Yeah, a
that's
message in a bottle.
Yeah. So you pick up messages in a bottle, and you unless you've discovered the whole map, you don't know where it is. I just came across it by accident. See, that sort of stuff I like. It's good.
I think there's definitely a lot of time that can be sunk into the game, with even if you're not playing with that. Like I was worried going into the weekend because, like the first night, I think it was the Friday night, I'd come home and everyone was already on. I was like, I'll just catch up by myself, and I ended up playing by myself the whole night because it was actually really enjoyable just to sail around by yourself. You didn't need to be in a group.
I'm pretty sure you started first, actually.
Yeah,
no, I was coming after all of you.
No, you started first. I'm pretty sure, because you jumped on, and then I jumped on, and then Subby jumped on later.
No, I came home. You guys were in a party, and Subby had been streaming for 45 minutes when I jumped on.
I remember it differently.
Yeah, I definitely started after all of you because I was playing catch ups for that Friday night or Thursday night.
I think
it was
I
a
came
Thursday
on
night.
last because everyone was.
I'm pretty sure.
No, I came on last because everyone was already in the game playing.
Yeah.
And I jumped in, and even Stace and that were online playing before I got on.
Stace wasn't that first day of the beta. Stace wasn't in there. It was.
I remember Subby going.
Red was
I'm
in
jumping
there
on now because everyone else has jumped on.
No,
yeah, because I remember you guys getting on earlier, and I'm like,
yeah, that was the Friday. I think it was the third. It must have been a Thursday because Red was in there and he wasn't playing, and then you guys were in there, but you had been in there for a while before I jumped in.
That's not how I remember.
I'm going to go back to. I'm going to go back to my screen.
I don't know.
Anyway, regardless.
Anyway, no, I enjoy it. I think everything's sort of paced out quite well. I mean, we even found out the hard way that you venture off too far with a ship you've got, you're going to get shit on pretty quickly. So kind of you need to go and upgrade your stuff and look for better blueprints. So I think it's good so far.
Do you think it's a game that's going to end up being like a lot of other games where people will play it for a week or a week and a half and then they just never touch it again?
I believe kind of a lot of people will be like that, and then the season will drop, people come back to it, and just an endless cycle. There's just so many games that are live servers these days. It's kind of like that. You kind of rotate between the new season, then you're into the next game for the new season, and so on. And
I
just
think
never-ending
unfortunately
cycle.
that is every game whipping, in my opinion,
Yeah.
nowadays. It's
Well,
it's
saying that Suicide Squad's like that. We haven't touched that since we
there's gonna
finished
be
it.
there's gonna be a group that will just slowly chip away at it, and then there'll be lots that just drop off and then keep coming back. And I think that's everything.
That's what we live in that social
That's just the way it is
place
now.
where
Well, I think Helldivers did a good job of sort of trying to alleviate that, because in Helldivers you got Super Earth in the middle, which is like Earth, and then you got planets stretching outwards with different sections. If no one plays, the bugs get closer and closer and closer to Super Earth, no matter what. It's all just live. So
Yeah.
if no one plays, the bugs get closer to Super Earth and take over more planets. The more people playing, the more you can push the bugs back towards the edge of the galaxy. So if everyone just stops playing, the bugs will eventually just work their way to Super Earth. So
Yeah, right.
it's sort of like an
pretty cool.
incentive to like band
Right.
together and force back the bugs, or else the game's just going to get taken over by the whole planet's just getting taken over.
can we boycott the game just to see what happens when
Well,
the aliens do
that's what I
take
made
over?
that. I was like, what if no one plays and just all the bugs just make it to Super Earth? So like, what do we start? We like start
it'll
as
be
like just a
it'll be a
rebel
Tarkov
faction
server
somewhere and try and
reset.
build back up.
Big Tarkov reset.
Tarkov server reset.
Yeah.
I just believe we live in that social time where short-term media is just the way it is. Like TikTok, people love TikTok, scrolling through those small videos real quick. So I think games are going in the same direction. We're just, here's a little bit of content, enjoy it for a week, move on to your next game, come back next month when we release a little bit more.
It'll only
And so on.
as long as it's drip fed content to everybody, people will just go back on and off all the time. If they don't, sure, that's when it probably will die, when it loses support from the own devs. I think it'll be alright if they just keep putting content in it, like they do with COD and Siege, new seasons, new content.
Diablo, new seasons.
Yeah, as long as they don't give up on it.
But yeah, I couldn't agree more with what you said there, Vibe, that people, like the whole media thing, and people need to be drip-fed videos and stuff like that. Like, I looked right into analytics on TikTok, which I do with a lot of my videos, because I want to see who's watching it, where, age, so on and so forth, so I can sort of not structure my videos around them, but know who my audience is on TikTok. And any video I do that's over 30 seconds, people pretty much tune out after 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So you've got that 30 seconds to draw someone in, and then they're gone. And
It's not even 30 seconds. I think if you haven't got them within, like, what do they reckon, 8 seconds or something of the start of the video, they'll drop off.
Well, that's I was sort of like, I watch a bit of TikTok before I go to bed, and my partner gets annoyed with me because I'll sit there, and if the video, like you said, doesn't grab my attention, I'll just keep scrolling. Whereas she's trying to watch it, I'm like, it's boring, I don't want to watch it, and just keep scrolling. And she's like, but she'll sit there and watch every video as she scrolls past. I'm like, nah.
Pretty supporter of everyone right there.
That's what Matthias does. You can hear him in the toilet or outside, and he's watching the whole video. And it's so loud.
It's funny though, the TV show snippets that they put up, I always watch all those.
They draw you in because that's just already content itself.
But massive news on, well, gaming wise or entertainment wise, if you want to call that. Obviously, Disney and Fortnite have now teamed up. What's sort of everyone's thoughts on that? Like, we've already, obviously, Fortnite and Rocket League, we've already seen a lot of content from Disney, being Star Wars, Marvel, so on and so forth, through Fortnite. And then obviously they've just done a Cars package on Rocket League. What do you think? This is a good move from Epic, or what do you reckon?
It's traditional Epic style, isn't it? Just they always have to do these collaborations, partnerships to keep people coming back. I reckon if they didn't have them, Fortnite would have fallen off years ago.
I think it's something bigger. Like, they're obviously saying Disney and Epic. I think it's something bigger than Fortnite and Rocket League, though. Like, I know it's going to impact both those games heavily, but
well, obviously no one knows what it is, but
no,
it's they've hinted at that big universe, different like islands, I guess.
Yeah, and each one's like a certain aspect of Disney, like Star Wars or Toy Story or
I'd be interested
or something.
I'd be interested to see if Epic starts diving more into making like a game like Cars, for instance, or a new game of Cars.
New Disney game or something. Yeah.
Well, they've got Disney's funding now, don't they?
Hmm.
And that's endless.
Oh, we might even let it with a Disney Plus show called Fortnite.
Yeah, yeah. I hope not, but yeah. The Peely season 1. I don't know. What does everyone think it's going to sort of do? We'll go with you, Canby. You're sitting there very quiet.
Well, I'm actually quite excited to see where it's going to take Fortnite. I know with every season they change the maps up and stuff, and most of the time it's sort of small stuff where they'll change one section, or sometimes they'll change the whole map. But this looks like they could possibly change the whole maps to different genres of, like of Disney, which is really appealing to me, and I feel like it's going to be really fun.
That's kind of how I was. That's kind of what I was thinking. The whole Fortnite thing with time traveling and all this weird shit that's going on with it. It could, the map could be completely themed map around one of their IPs.
Well,
a whole map themed of.
Hey, I'll come play Fortnite if they do a Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah,
IP
exactly.
for it.
Like, could you imagine like the whole map being Pirates of the Caribbean themed? That'd be sick.
That map they've released had like, if you zoom in, there's obviously the people have paused and zoomed in. There was like a Radiator Springs, and I think it looks somewhat like a toys setting, but that would be cool if they, because obviously they've also, Disney being Pixar, you've got IPs like Monsters Inc. and
there is a Tortuga.
Have you
seen?
Have you seen the map getting around that shows you all the IP that they own, Disney own?
Yeah, I'm looking at it actually right now.
Have a look at it. It's in the shape of like Mickey Mouse's face, head, but they own a lot of stuff.
Mickey Mouse in Fortnite.
Yeah, well, there's even an ESPN.
Yeah, they own so much stuff.
Like,
I'd be interested. I am definitely interested to see if it broadens out further than, like, obviously Rocket League's probably a little bit stuck with what they can do because they've got cars. They can add cars.
They could start throwing themed car packs in.
Yeah, we'll see with
theme maps.
Yeah, I suppose if they wanted to, they could also do theme, like you said, your theme maps. You could have like a Monsters Inc. universe map, or whatever it's called, Toy Story, all that sort of thing. But like you could add the car off Toy Story, I guess, but the RC car. But do you think they will make new games, or do you reckon they'll just stick to Fortnite, Rocket League?
Well, wild theory. You know how on Fortnite you jump on the bus and you go to the island and you get dropped off? There could be a thing of now you jump on the bus, you go through a portal and end up on a random map that's got to do something.
Yeah,
so every game could be something different.
Or the bus goes across all the maps and you decide where you're jumping off. You might want to jump off to the Caribbean.
If anyone from Disney or Epic's watching this podcast, we need credit if that happens.
I actually did have a cool option that Rocket League could do, is sort of similar with what like Mario, like the Mario universe with Mario Kart, and that is using the cars and pretty much creating it all around the Disney universe through all of the
they do that through Fortnite, because they're doing that on Fortnite now, Rocket Racing or whatever they're calling it.
Okay.
Yeah,
but again, like you're not wrong. You could do like a Toy Story themed map inside Andy's room, or Planet Pizza or whatever. Like there's endless things that they can do. I'm interested to see if they're going to strictly keep it to a couple of games, or make a Cinderella game, or Disney Princess game, or Toy Story game, or remake a Toy Story game.
It doesn't necessarily have to do anything to do with Fortnite. It's just Epic and Disney. Like Epic is a game engine.
Yeah, definitely. Because it's a big deal. It was. I probably should have checked how much it was. It was in the millions.
Why don't you have all the information?
Because rookie mistake.
88.9 billion.
And I think they have a 15% share in whatever they do.
Very smart business move from Epic.
So they
Very
don't have
smart
any
business move.
end control, but they do have input into what Epic does with it.
I hope it doesn't sort of backfire on Fortnite to a degree though, that they lose other things like
Well, this is
like
what I'm saying.
obviously
They
we
can't
had
because Disney only have a small share in it,
Mm.
so they don't
Yeah.
have the final say in what goes into Fortnite outside of the Disney stuff.
I hope but it might not even be that, but say Seth MacFarlane. He might turn around and say, no, I don't want to do anything with Disney. You're not using Family Guy in future things, or
Maybe.
I don't want Doom Boy in the game, or I don't
Mm.
want Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And like something as simple as that, but because
Maybe.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is owned by Nickelodeon, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. Yeah, it
Like,
is.
so they
yeah.
could turn around and say, well, no, you guys are working with Disney. We don't want to do any more future content with you. I hope that part doesn't backfire and we just get strictly.
I think with the amount of
you get-
money Epic pays all these for these collabs, I don't think that an issue.
I heard a rumor, and I don't know how true it was. I probably should have looked into it.
They should have.
That apparently Seth MacFarlane turned around and said that Fortnite couldn't afford to use Fat Peter. That's why they used Buff Peter.
They couldn't afford to use his one-to-one model or something.
Yeah, there was some weird thing about it, and I was like, surely Epic could afford that, unless he's asking stupid money for Peter.
So the one thing I'm going to look forward to about this collaboration is Fortnite's Jonesy becoming a Disney princess.
Yeah.
Yeah, or Peely Princess, Princess Peely. But yeah, it should be. I'm definitely seeing like they haven't released anything. They've released a trailer with zero information, and apart from a couple of Fortnite skins and a Rocket League skin, but that we've already seen a million times. So it will definitely be keen to see what it does in the future. But that's about it for this episode, guys. Nice short first episode back into the season 6. If you haven't already, guys, make sure you use code MKAU at Juiced Energy. You can score yourself 10% off. I believe there are still a couple of the Neon Dimensions collector's packs available. So if you want a pretty cool skateboard deck,
Show us the
jump
deck,
on
bro.
board that. I'm not ripping it off the wall. But yeah, it's pretty cool artwork.
Show us the deck.
Yeah, there you go.
I can't reach one
I'm not
either.
sure if my blur will get this or not.
You sort of can see it.
It's sort of. My
Just
blur is just trying to
hide
cut it
your
out.
face.
He's
Oh,
not even
my
on a
face?
wrap.
All right.
Yeah, if you hide your face, it should be a little bit easier. Yeah.
Is it working?
Yeah, that's
So
fine.
Juiced Energy teamed up with a artist by the name of Limit Break.
For the second time, actually.
For the second time. So this is the second time, but they've done obviously the skateboard deck on this one. Does some pretty cool artwork. But yeah, if you want to pick that one up, I can't remember how much it was, but use code MKU and you can score yourself 10% off. But that's about it for this one, guys. Thank you for everyone for coming, and we'll see you next time, eh? Catch you guys.
See you.
Bye.